He picks me up and puts me on top of the bar. So I'm laying on my back on top of the bar, kind of like half, like from my boobs to my head, I was upside down behind the bar. The rest of me was
Huh.
on top of the bar. My legs were up in a V. Someone had one heel, another person had the other heel of mine. I was on my period at the time.
Oh, damn.
He took my tampon out with his teeth.
All right. All right. Oi, hey, it's your boy Dustin from the Flying Chairs, the Rise podcast. And today I got an ultra sexy guest today, Katie McKinley. She's an actress, radio host, and she's super kick ass. I just wanted to get to know her more. So I thought I'd just bring her on the podcast and we just kick the shit today. So, Katie, where'd you grow up? And tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into what are you doing?
Well, hello, 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 and thank you for having me on. It is very awesome to meet you and all of your tattooed glory. I love it. So, yeah, I definitely want to know about your tattoos because I've got a
Yeah,
lot to ask later. Because I mean, I have tattoos, and
I
I
love
just
them.
had, thank you. I just had my last appointment. I got a tattooed pinup on my leg. I
Oh,
just had it done last week, and I'm making my next appointment coming up. So hopefully within another week or so, I'm getting some more work done.
that's
I, I'm
awesome.
not I'm not going to stop until I kind of am covered.
Yes.
I don't know.
I got like a full bodysuit going myself. I'm like 70% tattooed so far.
Really?
Yeah, I've
How
been getting
far into
tattooed
your
ever
ass?
since. I'm sorry?
I said, how far into your ass does it go?
I haven't touched that area yet.
So no balls, no cock, no shaft,
No, no, no,
nothing.
no. I was thinking maybe a dollar sign on the cock though.
Swallow that money,
That's right.
or you can just make it rain. Just
Yeah.
yeah. Well, where I am from, well, I am from South Florida in a little place called Coral Springs. I lived right on the border of Coral Springs and Parkland. You know where everybody got shot
Oh shit.
in the Stoneman Douglas. That's. I was either going to go to school there, or I was going to go to school at Terravella, and I went to Terravella instead.
Oh,
But
okay.
that
What were you
happened.
studying?
No, that was just high school.
Oh, it's high school. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's just a high school. Just the academics, getting into trouble,
Oh
getting
yeah, yeah, yeah,
fucked up, and
yeah.
having having relations with teachers that you shouldn't.
Hmm.
Oh yes, my algebra teacher. My algebra teacher. I never took one test in that class, and I got a B.
Really?
We would have phone sex too at night sometimes.
Holy shit.
Uh-huh. I
No,
remember
you're
I
not a guy.
I don't care. And everybody knew too. I mean, I was kind of I was such a slut in school. I was such a slut. No, I know it too because I did it. I did it so people would like me. That's
Sure.
like how I thought, you got friends.
Yeah.
It's not, but I had fun. I did. I had a lot of fun.
At least
So,
you're honest. I love that.
oh yeah. So grew up in Coral Springs. Then I spent a lot of years absolutely shit faced at bars, and then yeah, I sobered up, except for weed, and then things are going great, yada yada, nothing spectacular. Then I get a message from Sean Donahue
Oh.
over over on Facebook, and he sends me a picture of myself that I had posted. So I'm like, all right, weirdo. No, I was just like, why do you? No, people do that, and I'm like, why do you do that? Why do you send me pictures
That
of myself?
that is pretty weird.
It's like I know what I look like.
Mhm.
Anyway, so um, and he said, hey, you want to be in a movie? I said, okay. And that's kind of how my movie career started.
Oh, nice. Just that simple, a simple phone or a simple
it
message.
Yeah, it pretty much was just that. I started doing a podcast. I was working at, sorry, let me backtrack a little bit.
Sure, sure.
I was living in Orlando and I was working at a three-story porn store called Fair Villa.
Ooh.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of porn stars. I got to just play with a lot of things. It was just
Yeah.
it was awesome. There was a thing, it's called the she stem. It's a like a mini e-stem, like a tens unit, sort of.
Okay.
It's like a glorified tens unit. And every time like new people, because I had my regulars, but when new people would come to the store, especially if they were really like if they were kind of like those stuck up asshole frat kind of guys, those are my favorite because I would pull them upstairs. I'm like, oh, come on. Oh, yeah, you got to see this. I'm like, how could it be so bad? It's in a little pink case. You guys don't want anything to do with pink, do you? I mean, because they were like jocks and dickheads. So I would slap the electrodes on their muscles
Oh,
and I
okay.
would kick the bitch on high and they couldn't control it. So they were having like, they were like, they couldn't. Well, one of the guys who was a particular dick, and I could tell like he was, the funny guy in the group. Hmm. We had a bed on display, and we had restraints like on all four corners of the mattress. So I'm like, all right, tough guy. I'm like, you want to play? Let's play. So I put him down on the bed and I strapped him down. I said, can you move? He's like, no. I said, come on, really try. So he tried. He's like, no. I'm like, good. So first I got out a cupping gun. It's cupping is usually like glass little cups, and you light them on fire, and it sucks
Oh yeah.
all of
Yep.
it's like vacuum.
Yeah, I've seen
Well,
that.
they have the same kind of thing, except it's like a plastic gun that's got a pump on the handle, and you put this little plastic cup on the end. So you stick it to the body, and
Oh,
and it sucks
okay.
it out.
Yep.
Well, I ripped up his shirt and I put a small one on his nipple. Can you guess what happened?
Did you lactate?
He did.
Oh, did he really?
He did. I pumped it so hard. He lactated. He freaked out. His friends freaked out. I said, you're not done yet.
You're not done yet.
I did the other one. The other one didn't lactate. And then I took out the she stem and I stuck it to his inner thighs. Oh, I used to get so wrong at work. Oh my God. Literally, if this would have happened, like if the roles were reversed, it was a dude doing it to a girl, fired and like lawsuit and shit. But I had so much fun. I got away with murder. So yeah, he was a lot of fun. They
Wow.
did come back though,
Did
which
he?
was fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
he came
He's
back.
like, I actually like that lactating.
Yeah, he
There's
did.
something that turned me on about that one.
I'm totally going off the rails. Please feel free to stop me at any time.
Oh no, please. That's good. I love the storytelling. That's what we're all about here. So no,
So
I thought you would have some pretty funny stories.
while I was working at the store, one of the girls that I worked with, she was friends, like her hairdresser, whatever. Her husband had a radio show on this network called Bubba the Love Sponge. Now
Okay.
he was really big and popular down in South Florida, like really big. Like he was the number one morning radio host that there was. Well, his buddy was on the show, was like the co-host. She was offered a radio show. She'd never done radio, and they said, well, you need to have a co-host. She asked me. I had never done radio either. So I said, okay, I'll do it. Ended up going real well. I was putting in a lot of work and doing everything. People all thought that it was my show to begin with when it
Oh,
wasn't. I was
okay.
just the back seat.
Sure.
So we got moved to the big studio where I saw a lot of stuff happen, a lot of stuff go down. Do you remember, or did you hear anything a couple years ago about Hulk Hogan and Gawker?
No, what
That
happened?
whole Hulk Hogan, that's a whole nother story.
Okay.
I'm not involved with that. I was just working at the studio at the time that all this happened, but
Oh,
it's not really my story to tell.
sure, sure, sure.
So I shouldn't.
Okay.
Anywho, so I ended up taking over the show. They ended up, like, she left, and I got another co host that sucked. But anyway, I was doing that, and then I ended up doing the podcast and meeting a bunch of people like through the podcast and stuff, and then the movies. Okay, I'm sorry I went around my ass to get to my elbow.
You're awesome. So did like the radio thing start first, or did the acting
No, the
come?
radio started first.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Okay.
radio started first, and then and then to promote the radio show is when I got into porn.
Oh, okay.
That's
All
when
right.
I started making and producing my own porn with my husband, which
Oh,
we named
nice.
him Stunt Cock, because because all the videos I did were either POV or solo. And the
Sure.
POV, all you would see was my husband from the waist down. So all you would ever see is his cock or maybe his hand.
Sure.
So
Sure.
he always went by Stunt Cock. And that's why whenever I talk about him, refer to him online, or it's Mr. SC or just SC.
Okay.
And a lot of people, they're like, oh, I've seen your dick before I've seen your face. Because it's true. A lot of people have.
Right.
But anyway, so I started to do porn and that was fun. And then I only did a couple of movies for other companies just because I don't know,
Try
it's
to branch
fun.
out a little bit. Yeah.
Well, they asked it like, hey, would you mind doing it? And I'm like, oh,
Nice.
okay. I'm like, whatever. So, but then I got out of it and I said if I was ever going to get back into it, I'd do it in my 70s.
There we go. And there's a whole bunch of people like that are into that.
Oh, honey, don't I know it? I'm only 44 and
Really?
I have kids in their 20s. And I say kids because they could be my children. They're old enough to be my kid. Like, yeah. They're like, oh, hey, mommy. I'm like, no, no, stop.
Wow.
It's just,
You're close to
I don't.
my age for God's sakes. I thought yeah, that's awesome.
Well, how old do you think I was? It's okay. Don't be
No, I
offended.
thought maybe like in the 40s, upper 40s.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm 44.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm almost 40. So we could have been in high school together almost.
Could be a teacher.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's really awesome. And again, I just like how you live the extravagant life because not too many people get to just do that. Again, right? Just uh have an awesome husband that is cool for that. And again, just again, supportive and meeting all these cool people. And you do these conventions too, don't you? You go out and do like these horror conventions, or do you do like the cross play?
Yeah, there's some conventions that I do. I did Tampa Bay Screams for a few years, so about 7 years. I don't know if I'm going to go next year or not, but I don't know. They changed venues and they changed um hands. Like different people took over, and it's a little different.
Sure.
I don't know, but there's Spooky Empire is fun. I've done that a couple times. Um, yeah, not that much. But if you want to hear kind of a gross story,
Sure.
okay, we we used
Let's hear
to.
it.
My husband and I used to entertain for fetish parties. This is before we got married. This is when we were just
Okay.
dating.
All right.
Well, we were at a fetish party down in Hollywood, Florida, and hammered. Just I don't even know if we were on mushrooms too. Probably I don't know, but we were we were at the second floor at the second bar, and it's crowded with people. There's stuff going on stage, blah blah blah. He picks me up and puts me on top of the bar. So I'm laying on my back on top of the bar, kind of like half like from my boobs to my head. I was upside down behind the bar. The rest of me was
Huh.
on top of the bar. My legs were up in a V. Someone had one heel, another person had the other heel of mine. I was on my period at the time.
Oh, damn.
He took my tampon out with his teeth, flung it into the crowd. There was a there was a scramble to get it. This guy picks it up. He says, I got it, and then put it in his shorts. Like put it in the little waistband of his shorts.
Damn, he's gonna sell that on eBay.
Doubtful. He probably still has it or sucked on it or so. I don't
Oh,
know.
whoa.
But yeah.
Dang.
Another thing that's a
It's a
little
little bit
crazy.
little macabre. Just a little bit.
Well, there's a couple people that have pussy pops that I make available every once in a while. I take a lollipop
Yeah.
and I shove it in my pussy, and I take a picture of it inside my pussy, and then I gift wrap it, and you get a picture of the pop inserted with and it's all numbered and signed. So you have your own little.
Oh, that
Well,
is dope. That is pretty creative for like a little porn package. No,
I have a couple like sitting over here that
do you?
I had taken to the
Don't
last
show them on
editing
here.
streams.
I think we get
It's just
canceled on that.
it's just well you done. I mean, it's just a lollipop. Like you
Oh, it's just a
can't. Like,
lollipop. Okay,
yeah,
I see.
yeah, yeah. It's not really like hold up the picture.
Sure.
Um, and oh gosh, and the same one of the same people that have one of the pops. He also has a hyper realistic tattoo of my pussy on his forearm. Now,
Jesus.
know the story behind that.
Yeah, let's hear about this. What, like,
And after we finish this, I'll shoot it to you so you can see the picture.
oh, all right. Dope.
Like, well, the tattoo, I'll send it to you because
Yeah, sure.
the main you don't want to see the real picture. Trust me, you don't.
Okay.
There was a contest he was running. He had like a little group called the Grossness, and he wanted to know who could send or take the grossest picture. So I said, "Oh, I got this." This is so bad. You're gonna look at me different after this.
That's all right.
Now, at the time, my vaginal area was furry.
Okay.
So I was furry. I was on my period. I had just got a fresh cream pie, and I had zippers on my labia. Now, zippers are when you take clothespins and you kind of tie them together in a line.
Okay.
So I had 3 on each labia.
Wow.
And then there's a string where, you can just like pull them off really fast. But
Whoa.
it was holding it open. So I have, so there's 3 clothespins on each side pulling my vagina open that's furry, bloody, and jizzy. And it's a close-up picture. And I sent that picture to him.
Whoa.
He got that image tattooed on him. I'm not even lying.
Wow.
Because I wrote on there, I wrote on the clothespins, Kinky Katie loves the grossness. And on the other one, it says snitches get stitches. And that's what he did.
Wow. That is the most gnarly tattoo and gnarly what you did. That is dope though. That's wow. That is pretty interesting. I'd love to see this guy's tattoo though. This is gonna be
no.
Is it a color tattoo or is
yeah.
it a black and gray one?
No, it's color.
Oh wow.
It's color. Oh yeah.
Wow.
It is color.
Yeah, I guess you had to have a little color in there to get the whole aspect of that photo.
He also has Kinky Katie radio between his belly button and his junk. He has it in like
shit.
in like a rainbow.
Again, you have a fan base. This is great.
It's pretty cool.
Is he demanding money that you like should pay him for like promoting you on his skin?
No,
because people do
no.
that. No, there's people who do that too. I think.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Taco Bell's gonna pay me money if I stick their logo on my face.
Yeah.
So I want to know about your tattoos.
Yeah, which ones you want to talk about?
All of them. Talk about the ones you want to talk about. There's a lot to look at. You're like solid.
Yeah,
I'm just like a collector of little here's and there's,
and there's.
I'm pretty full up, but
yeah, you are. I love yours. I love how thick and bold they are. You know what I'm saying? Like you can like see them from a distance.
I like that too. My first tattoo I got when I was 13.
Okay.
Yeah, which is
nice.
Don't take your children at 13 to get tattoos. Anyway, but then I don't know. I started getting my next ones. Like I've got this huge. After getting like something like a couple dinky little pieces on my ankle, like all together, I'm like, fuck it. I had the money, and I was like, I'm gonna get this gigantic rooster on my leg. I have a giant cock on my thigh. It goes from like kind of a little above my knee, my entire thigh, and the tail feathers kind of wrap around my butt a little bit.
That is funny.
I love it. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
No, that's cool. Well, I have a sperm whale fighting a giant squid it's a whole leg sleeve. So it's a
Oh,
big.
cool.
So I like to say I have a whale in my pants.
Would you be a Moby Dick?
Moby Dick, yes. And then I have like the ancient astronaut theory kind of tattooed on my chest with ancient Easter Island head.
Back up a little bit.
Back it up a little bit.
Yeah. I want to see you naked.
Naked. Get there. We're getting there. This is only the beginning of the show. But no, because I used to say my nipple is as hard as a rock. You know what I'm saying? Little pun jokes.
Now, why did you avoid the nipple? I want to know.
Uh, I don't know. That's up to my artist, I guess. um, but no, I have a I got an umbrella tattooed with a storm underneath it tattooed, and I have 1848 on my stomach. Yeah, and I have a lot of Japanese inspired tattoos, a lot
Very
of
cool.
animals and American traditional on one leg. Actually, when you just talked about having a pinup tattoo, I have actually a pinup tattoo of Princess Leia naked, and she's all decked out in tattoos herself.
Oh, very cool. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
I never thought that I would. I was like, you know what? At first, I never thought I'd be this tattooed.
Sure,
I had
sure.
always wanted to be, but I never thought it would actually happen. And I never thought I would do my hands. And then I got my hands and my knuckles.
Yeah.
And I mean, and now I have my chest and my throat, like, well, a little bit of my throat, not much.
How'd
I
that
mean,
feel in that throat there?
fucking sucked.
Yeah.
It
I
was
mean, I
so
had it right here,
bad.
and I thought that was killer. I was like, shit, I'm
Oh
not
my
getting my
god.
fucking throat done. That's insane.
Oh my god. I have to say, it was the only tattoo that I've used numbing cream on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thank God, because I got through about 90% of the outline. If not, uh, there's no way. There's
Yeah.
absolutely no way. It sucks.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm going to be
gnarly.
getting so much more, but at least it's not right smack dab in the middle anymore. That's
Yeah,
done.
shit, right?
That's done.
It's so
Well,
gnarly.
well, my next one is I'm getting my knee ditch.
Oh, I have the knee
Yeah.
ditch. Both of them
Yeah.
done. Yeah. That's the tendons are like above like closest to the skin top. So again, like this just sucks. That's just the most gnarly spot.
Yeah.
That and the stomach, and I guess the kneecap itself too is
Oh
pretty.
God. Yeah, I'm dreading that too.
Mhm.
I'm kind of like trying to get, I guess, all the super owie places out of the way.
You know, and I always think about like how tattooing started. I know it's like there's a lot of theories of like this caveman got a wound on its foot and got dirt in it and it healed and it's like, huh, I made a merkin, that's cool. Or did it like stem from ancient astronauts of something they actually saw and like interacted with that the ancient astronauts actually had? And that's why you see body modification, not just tattooing, but like other extreme one with skull
Like implants
elongate,
and
yeah, and skull elongation,
mhm,
stretching out the skulls and even the lips,
cutting their
some of
nose
the,
off.
yeah, kind of, yeah, just tons of things. But you got to wonder why, because a lot of these things kind of stem from cargo cults. I don't know if you know what a cargo cult is.
I don't.
Well, let me hit you up with the cargo cult. So, cargo cults kind of started when during World War II, when we were fighting the Japanese in the Pacific, and when we went to some of these islands in the Pacific, they were inhabited by indigenous people that never seen an airplane before, and they were hiding in the ditch, kind of watching the Americans from a distance, but like just thought it was amazing that they had these magical vehicles and the fact that they didn't need to go hunt for food and just never seen anything like that. So anyways, the Americans left. The indigenous people made runways out of the jungle and made bamboo fetishes of life-size airplanes out of straw and bamboo and sticks and shit, and they would write USA on their chest and made bamboo rifles, and they would march back and forth to entice other airplanes to land on their airport
Hmm.
to receive cargo or whatever. But there's 150 cargo cults around the world
Wow.
that still exist, and they still kind of practice this building these things and kind of hoping that they think that their ancestors are the ones that had these vehicles, and the white man is this pirate that kind of took it away from them. Or where the hell? They have all these, but I always kind of stem that from the ancient astronaut theory of like, even if you go further back in like ancient India, with
Mhm.
they talk about their gods coming in flying vehicles called Vimana, And the fact that these gods need vehicles, and there's hundreds of these gods with blue skin and having wars with each other. And again, when these aliens left or gods left, the uh, people from India started making their temples out of stupa. They're called stupas, but they're the shape of vimanas. Okay, like the flying vehicles of the gods. So all their temples are like the flying vehicles of the gods. So it's so funny how humans just react to something they just couldn't understand, especially when they didn't have the vocabulary. So that's why you hear about flaming chariots or flying shields or I don't know, dragons, breathe fire and smoke. There's another famous ancient cargo cult in Brazil and with the Kayapo Indians. And they have this story where this thing with smoke and fire came to the top of the mountain and it came down into their village and it was wearing a bulbous suit with a glass helmet and it
Anyway,
like scared yeah, like a conehead. Yeah, exactly right.
I was like Mars Attacks.
Yeah, Mars Attacks too. um, but yeah, it like got into their village and just stood there, and then the brave Indians that were there like started throwing arrows and spears at it, and when the spears hit his clothing, it like turned into dust, and then this creature actually had a weapon himself and like pointed at a tree and it exploded. And then all the Indians just ran into the bush. But this thing like stood there like a statue in the middle of their village. And they're like, what the fuck? So a few days later, they kind of like brought it food, kind of scared and shit. And then it started speaking their language. And they're like, whoa. And he's like, yeah, I had to listen to your guys in the bush about what you're about to do with me. And then, yeah, he started teaching them agriculture and mathematics. And yeah, there's actually there's a school named after him. Beb Karoti is what they called him.
Hmm.
I guess he stayed with the villagers for years, married a few of the women, and they described him having white skin and a beard, but again in this bulbous suit. And now this village that still practices this yearly ritual of dressing up like Beb Karoti in this space suit like astronaut straw suit, and they have the people in a circle singing the story of how he came into their village, taught them stuff, and then left and promised one day to return. So again, that's why the people continue to practice, and this cargo cult started of just practicing dressing up like Beb Karoti, telling the story. So like when the young ones do witness Beb Karoti when he does return, they won't be as scared, because oh yeah, we sang about your ass about every year. You know what I'm saying?
You're that
So
guy.
yeah, that guy, that bulbous suit guy with a white beard, come to fuck some women again. But hey, I bet you would like this story. It's a sexual alien story. And it's true. It's like the holy grail of all like intermingling with ETs. Um, his name is Peter Curry, and he's from Sydney, Australia. And I think this is during the 90s. He was sleeping in bed, and it was like early morning, about 7 o'clock, and something jumped out of his bed like a cat. And he's like, shit, I don't own a cat. He opens his eyes and he realizes he's being straddled by a beautiful, like milky white skinned, white hair, blue eyed, kind of bigger eyes, obviously. And then she was just straddling on his dick, obviously. She's just riding him. He's just like, what the hell is going on? He starts to get up and she cups the back of his head and puts him into her breast. And he starts to freak out because he couldn't breathe. And he's just like, what the who? And he bites down just to like get her off of him. And he like gets a little flesh in his mouth and he like got like a bad reaction, like an acid reaction where he starts coughing. Then he hears voices in his head saying, oh, he's doing this wrong. And he noticed there's another milky white female sitting on the bed with this other woman that was straddling him. And he's like, no, he's doing this wrong. And after they noticed that they kind of like disappeared out of thin air, but he noticed he had like a boner for 6 hours. And he's like, what the fuck? It was painful, you said. And he noticed there was a hair wrapped around his cock. It was like almost embedded, like if you've stuck your nail into your skin and you can kind of get that indentation. He had his unravel this hair on his cock. And when he did, it relieved his boner. Okay. And it's like, then he went and got this shit tested by scientists, and then they found out it had bizarre um human race, like even like the early human races that were on Earth, like hominids and like weird all around the world, like from Africa, pygmies, like weird shit. And like the fact that it was white didn't need much sun. But yeah, the guy had the holy grail of like having a little DNA evidence of what this ET left behind, just because it makes sense because a breeding program going on Earth since the dawn of time. So it's just kind of funny this guy caught this one in the act, right?
I'm curious. Is well, this DNA left behind, this hair that was wrapped
Mm-hmm.
around like a cock ring.
Mm-hmm.
Um, was it obviously it was tested if there was DNA, but what did the test say?
Yeah, they said it was all different mix of humans, like from all around the world, like from like the early like hominids to like Chinese to African to just had such a mix of different races of people. So it's just kind of like, especially when it comes to that story too. It just kind of shows that there could be like a hybrid breeding program. They're just mixing all sorts of races together.
Sure, you'll end up like Splice.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Is that your kitty cat?
That's one of them. That's Paco.
Paco.
Yeah, Paco.
And another thing about cats too, that very cute. And cats are very mysterious too. Like cats have split eyes. The slit eyes. That's
Mm-hmm.
very rare in the animal kingdom. And they hiss like snakes. And then you got to wonder why Egyptians worship them. And other cultures.
Because they're little lovable furry assholes. That's what they are.
You don't think they could see spirits or orbs, or you into that?
No, no,
No.
no. Actually like I do believe that aliens exist. I think it would be pretty I think it would be pretty I can't find the word but I'm thinking of right now, but it's just I don't know if it's like egotistical or just to think that you are the only living thing
Right.
in the in this whole gigantic universe. Because
Yeah.
come on now, you're fooling
Sure.
yourself.
Sure.
So that I do believe. I don't believe in ghosts. I do not believe in paranormal stuff. I do, and they're
Sure.
like orbs. It's dust, dude. It's just dust. It really is. Because I do have friends, but I have friends, and I'm not poo-pooing it because I do know people who are they full-heartedly they believe it, they love it, they've got expensive equipment, they go on these adventures and like they go to like haunted places and stay overnight and they love it, they love it and they swear up and down I'm not going to rain on their parade, but
Sure.
personally I'm like okay.
That's cool. And about Bigfoot or dogmen. You hear about those
Well,
cryptic
Bigfoot
creatures?
I've heard, dogman no,
Okay.
pigman yes.
The
Bear
pig man?
pig,
The
man bear pig.
very big?
But but no, Sasquatch too, that's another one. That's
Yeah, sure.
okay.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering. That's not. I was just wondering maybe you had any personal experience. Obviously not with ghosts, but maybe Bigfoot. Or do you ever have you seen a UFO or?
I have seen something before that that I didn't know what it was. I was
Okay.
younger, but I mean I could explain it away as an airplane or a satellite because
Sure.
I mean I was little. It really didn't make that much of an impact on me that I thought, or else people kept telling me that it wasn't. So just I didn't really think about it anymore. That could have been the case, but um, I completely lost my train of thought again. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
We were talking about yeah, there was something that I wanted to tell you. There's something now, not believing in ghosts, but this is something that I can't explain.
Okay.
So maybe you might find something in this that you might say, hey, this sounds
Okay.
like
Okay.
XYZ.
Let's hear it.
I was sleeping. I remember waking up. I was kind of groggy. I was young too. I was maybe about 8, something like that. And like I was having a bad dream. Like I remember having a bad dream. And then when I woke up, there was like dryish blood on my teddy bear. And then there was a streak of dry blood from kind of like the middle of my fingers on the back of my hand all the way up to the middle of my forearm. Now I thought maybe, okay, I had a bloody nose, right?
Mm,
And like I
right.
wiped my arm against it. I had no bloody nose. I had no cuts. I had no scabs. There was nothing, absolutely nothing. And I wasn't old enough to get my period yet.
Oh,
And this is after having bad dreams of like some really fucked up stuff happening. So I can't explain that. And I even told my mother, and she was like, "What are you talking about?" And like, she didn't believe me. So yeah,
that's super weird. So you woke up with a streak of blood in your arm.
yep. And my teddy bear that I had in my bed had blood on it too. And I had,
Weird.
and there was absolutely zero traces of any blood on the rest of my body or where it could have come from me.
I would have been wigging out the whole day. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck was that?
Well, it still bothers me to this day. It
Oh
still bothers
yeah,
me to this day. And I mean,
sure.
that's, you know, that's a long
Oh.
time ago. That's a little something.
There's a little something. Hmm. Well, again, I haven't had my own personal experience with ghosts myself, unfortunately. I like to think there might be something out there, or like it might be all connected with this ET shit too, because there's theories that ETs are interested in humans because of our souls, or our souls maybe do
Generate?
regenerate, or even like reincarnate.
That's,
And
yes.
yeah. Um, yeah, and they're just interested in the fact that, well, they don't have souls, and maybe they want to just be interested in that phenomenon in a sense, because that is a weird thing just to be, you know, just to have, just to be out in the ether. Some creatures that just can come back to life after they die. Yeah, but no, makes you think if there's something out there or not. Because I like the movies Poltergeist and shit too, because it's just like I feel there is some kind of evil. It's like this kind of get through and
Yeah, that movie completely put me off the clowns.
did it.
Yeah, completely put me off the clowns. I used to have a clown hanging in my bedroom. It didn't look that freaky, but I was like, nope, because I was young. I,
Sure.
I would put it outside my bedroom and I would shut the door every night. My parents kept it in my room. They're like, no, 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 it's happy. I'm like, could you please just get rid of this thing? They're like, no. So every night I would just put it outside my room.
Yeah,
It's
no, that movie's terrifying. And they did such a great job on just doing their homework on that movie. Enough, you know that there's like a curse on that movie. Did you hear about that?
I have. I think I saw like the documentary about the curse.
Yeah, that's like there were like weird fires on set, and then a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people got sick, and then that little girl got a rare disease, and then even that second poltergeist for that Native American guy that was in it, he shortly
Yeah.
died after making that movie. This
Mm-hmm.
weird shit just kept on popping off. Um, but yeah, very sad for that little girl though. We had had to die at a young age.
Well,
Uh,
especially when like your last memories are working on poltergeist.
yeah, right. It's like
Was I think it was like
your
was it like
soul
part
was meant to
three?
go. They really wanted that girl in real life.
It's like
Shit,
we don't like you, Carol Ann.
we like you a lot. After that first movie, we definitely needed you.
So now we are going to turn the pages and I'm going to ask you a couple questions.
Please do.
All right. So, being almost a 40-year-old young man,
Yes.
what would have to be the most awkward sexual situation you found yourself in?
Oh man, my audience is gonna love this. Awkward. Why is there a few running through my head? Should be there. Should be. Um. Okay, I got one. uh, I met a girl that was in town for work. She was working out in Green Bay. I guess her and her colleague were. And I guess they were staying at a hotel. And they're just asking, I guess they were just trying to find somebody to hang out with while they're in town. So they're asking if I met them at a bar, and they're asking if I had a friend. And I said, yeah. I called my best friend, and he's totally available. He came right away after I told him, hey, these two girls want to hang out and have fun. So we went back to the hotel, and not shitting you. I was sitting there with the girl on the couch, just chit chatting, and then my best friend was standing there with this other girl standing in front of us. And within 10 minutes of getting into this hotel, I thought we'd just kick it and have some drinks, maybe take hours, even like kiss the girl, whatever. Anyways, I was just watching my friend and this other girl interact, and this girl gets on her knees and just drops his pants like this, whew, and his bone just shots up. I just immediately started laughing hysterically. I was like, "What are we doing here? We just got here. What are you guys? What?" And she just starts, blowing them off right in front of us. And it's my first interaction of seeing my friend and having two girls in the same room. And
Mm-hmm.
just, yeah,
It was a new
it's,
thing for you.
it was a new thing. I was 21. I was just geeking out as a kid. And, yeah, so I don't know how he was concentrating. Well, I was just laughing hysterically. And so was the girl, too. I think she was just as surprised. And yeah, then they started like just straight up fucking in front of us. And we went to the bathroom because I'm a little shy about that. But it was just too funny
It
that
could have been an opportunity for the four
it
of you to
could
have a
have
great
been.
time.
It could have been. Again, young, and it was just still kind of new
That's
and
all right.
fresh. But yeah, that was pretty funny. And that was
That-
a little awkward. I think it would have been awkward maybe for him having a guy hysterically laughing the whole time while you're getting sucked off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Made it awkward.
So now what would happen if it happened now? Like if the same situation happened
Oh,
now.
it'd probably be a lot different. Yeah, probably.
Do
Yeah.
you think you'd bust out laughing, or
I'm
do you think
still
you'd be
no,
like,
no.
let's
I'm
get
be
down?
no. I would get down probably. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And then my best friend, we're still really good friends, so I think we'll get down.
So now if you were going to spit roast a chick together with you and your best friend, would you take the mouth first or the back?
Oh
Or
man.
or or would you do a double Wiener Schleider?
Holy snazzy. Uh, probably the mouth first. I like the mouth first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then would you go straight to the puss or would you stick it in her ass?
It's up to her, I guess. Probably the ass. I like the as tight as I can get.
So say you're in the ass and your buddy decides to get in her pussy. Are you cool with that? Even though you feel your ball slap?
I don't know,
Or
man.
does it depend on the moment you just don't care?
You are putting me on the spot. I have no idea. Probably not. I don't know. I think we have to be like a little bit further apart where one dude be in the mouth and one person be in the back area.
What if that's what she wants? And what if there's three?
Well,
What if there's
holy,
you, your buddy, and someone else?
I hope it was a girl. Two
Well,
girls.
I'm I'm just throwing things out there because
Yeah,
situations do happen.
they do happen.
Because
Jeez, I wish
I
we'd hold
have
them
been
more
in these
often.
situations.
Wow, I know you have. Jesus. Ah, what's your favorite position?
I'm pretty boring. I either
Are you?
I like doggy style. I really do. Or
Sure.
one of the things that like really turns me on. I haven't done it, but the idea of it is really hot to me. And they have them in over in Europe. I believe it's in Germany, but
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's in other. I think it's in like the Netherlands too and stuff. But it's a brothel,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that I want to be. Maybe I do. I don't know. But be one of the people that work there, but they're like they can't see, like their lower half is sticking out. So
Oh, okay.
either they're laying on their back with like their legs up, or they're laying on their stomach with their, from the waist down is out. The rest of it is like closed off. They can't
Really?
see you. You can't see the person doing it. But
Whoa.
there's
That's like Amish
cameras,
style.
kinda. There's cameras all around everywhere watching everything that happens. So they see what's going on your end and on their end. And the people who's fucking you can see you, but you can't see them.
Wow.
So and there's just one person could be having sex and then they like stop and all of a sudden they start again, but it's someone new, but you don't know.
Whoa.
I don't know. That's always been
Dang.
interesting to me. It's kind of like a random glory hole situation.
That is like I was just say, yeah, it's like that's definitely a glory hole. That is
I
amazing.
don't
Wow.
know. I
There's so
don't
many
know.
different fantasies out there, especially the Europeans, man.
Oh, yeah.
They have a
Ooh, okay. I could tell you a story.
tell me. Okay.
It's another gross one. I know a lot of these are pretty gross, but the ones that are the most cringeworthy, they're pretty nasty.
Sure.
I mean, and if they're nasty to me, oh, I feel bad for you. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
There was a guy, it was around Christmas time. There was a guy, he wanted to paint me to ooh, very detailed. He wanted me to meet him at a hotel first thing in the morning and defecate on a silver platter and urinate in a champagne glass and serve it to him and watch him eat it. And he said, if you don't feel comfortable, pooping on a platter, he goes, just poop in the toilet, but don't flush. And then I was like, well, and I gave him this ridiculous price because I'm like, this is fucking weird. Like, I don't want to do this. And he
Yeah,
said,
right.
yes. And he said, yes. So I'm like, oh. And then I was like, well, I don't want you to watch me while I use the bathroom. And
Sure.
he's like, well, that's kind of part of it. I'm like, oh. I said, okay, well, I don't want to watch you eat it. And he goes, well, that's kind of part of it too. So I was like, well, it's this much more. And he goes, okay. Ooh. And then he was telling me, he was asking me if I could like eat certain things before that,
Whoa.
like to make things kind of how he wanted them, I suppose. Bro, no. I was like, I didn't do it. I was
Yeah.
just, it got like closer and I'm just like, I
No.
don't want to do this. I
Yeah.
don't need that money that badly. Oh
Right.
God. You know,
I
yeah.
don't wanna, I don't think you want to be in the same room with the same guy. It could be a little bit more psycho than just that. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm gonna tie you up and slit your throat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
But
never
I
know with
mean,
those fuckers, man. That's pretty gnarly.
so then I have like scenes like that where I do know a couple of people that used to date that they used to make scat videos. And when I was doing the radio show, my husband and I went and actually watched them film one of their videos because I was like, I gotta know what you guys like about this. Like,
Sure.
why is this a turn? It was not. I couldn't sit through the whole thing.
Sure.
I had to leave.
Sure.
The smell was
Oh yeah.
way too much, and it's not my jam. And
Sure.
I tried as best as I could to be non-judgmental and to not throw up.
Yeah.
And I also found out the day after I was pregnant. So I was like,
Yeah.
well, that kind of probably had something to do with my nausea. But
Yeah.
yeah, but she doesn't do
Wow.
that anymore, which I'm happy she doesn't because she's really pretty. And I know that shouldn't mean anything, but I don't
Sure.
know. It's
Sure. Yeah, it
to
could
each
put
their
it,
own.
if it could put yeah, it could put you in a little bit of a different light. But no, there's yeah, there's tons of fetishes out there. I mean, you really barely can keep up. And
I like pushing people a little bit. Kind
yeah,
of. I'm one of those people, and how I used to be too is if you're going to go out with me or drinking for the night, you are going to have a time that you're not going to forget.
damn.
You are going to do some shit that you're probably going to regret, but don't you blame me because I didn't make you do it. I didn't talk you into do it. I did not push you into doing it. You did it on your own free will, but you felt more comfortable doing it around me. I have seen some people do some shit and then one night stands. Oh, so many one night stands. We met this couple at a bar on Halloween one year, ended up going back to their place, fucking around all night. Just absolute shenanigans. The next morning, we didn't know where the car was. We still don't even know their name, like
Whoa.
who these people are. My husband's like, all right, we're out of here. I got things to do today. I mean, we totally left them there. A couple months later, we see them again, same bar. They come up to say hi, like, oh, hey, do you remember us? We're like, no, because when we met them, they were in costumes because it was Halloween. And it's
Right.
like, no. Like, oh yeah, I'm so and so. I got deployed. I was a soldier, and this is my wife. No, have no idea who they are. And like, yeah, we've been coming here like every couple times a week, seeing if we'd see you again. No idea who the fuck they are. And then they're like, oh, remember we went. I was like, oh, oh,
Jesus.
you're those people. We're like, oh crap. Why are you back? It's kind of like, this is an experience. You had it. Go have fun
Sure.
somewhere else. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know. I've just
So
had
did,
some.
I'm sorry. I
No,
was gonna say, no, me first. I was gonna say, does your husband and you guys swing, or that was just kind of a past thing that you guys did, or
Well, since we haven't really had a chance to go out anywhere anymore for the past year and a half, I'd say like we don't anymore. But yeah, we used to. I mean,
oh.
there's.
Is it
Mhm.
are they called the key parties or something different too? That's how
The
does
what?
that work? The key parties where you get the fishbowl and everybody put their car
Oh,
keys in it, and then it's kind of easier for random people. It's kind of more fair that way, I guess. How is it?
well,
How is it like? Oh, I kind of like that guy more than I like this guy.
it usually it just was if we were out at a bar or out at a party, just hook
Dang.
up. We just end up like hooking up. Because we would go to the fetish parties, there was sometimes that we'd start having fun, and then we were with a bunch of other people having fun, and we all just had fun. I mean, got into a pile.
Nice. That's
Have you ever
dope.
had? Have you ever heard of a blind orgy?
A blind orgy?
Uh huh.
Sounds like a Helen Keller. We didn't know who she's fucking with.
You're very close. You're very close.
Yeah.
You're in a pitch black. Everybody is wearing bald caps.
Okay.
Everybody's wearing bald caps, so you can't feel anybody's hair on their head.
Sure.
And the room is pitch black, so dark you can't even see your hand in front of your face,
Okay.
and you're just let free to do
Well,
whatever you want. You can grope around till you find something, you fuck it or suck it or whatever you want to do, and it's a free for all.
damn. That
Uh huh.
is crazy.
So you
Again,
could.
there's just so many different things that can just be put into play with sex. You know what I'm saying? Just again, just being more creative like that. That is somewhat creative. And no, that's pretty awesome. And again, not too many people get to experience life that you do. So that is
Well,
pretty dope.
are you into any kind of prostate play?
I'm sorry.
I said, are you into any kind of prostate play?
Oh, cross play,
No, prostate.
prostate.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me more about that. No, 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 no,
Do
no, no,
you do you
no,
do you like or anal play?
no, 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 no. On myself? No, no,
Yeah.
no,
Have
no,
you ever tried it?
no.
Why? Too afraid of the stigma? Because you do know that the male G spot is his asshole.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, but I mean, I got my own, just that certain spot on my skin there. I'm ready. I'm good. But no, I mean, I guess I haven't met the right person to go that way. I guess.
Well, because I mean, no, I've tried like I'm that's my number one fetish is pegging. I love it. And for
Yeah.
those of you that don't know out there, I like to put a strap on and fuck dudes in the ass. I dig it. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I get off on that. It's great. Now, my husband is not into it,
Yeah, I'm with your husband on that
but
one.
his best friend is,
Oh my.
and that's fun. So
That
I've got
is,
to have fun with that. But
yeah. Jesus
yeah.
Christ. You're just
Oh
living
yeah.
the fucking life. My fucking God.
I don't. I mean, it's.
The world
I
is your
wouldn't.
orchard.
Well, I wouldn't say that I'm a dominatrix, but I do get off on the power of when I have a guy bent over or locked up, and just to hear him kind of cry and whimper a little bit, just with that first initial deep thrust, and to hear just that, it just, or that, it's just, I'm like, oh, that's the stuff. Just like, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. There was another guy I did, and I talked about this on my show. I don't remember which episode it was, but I crushed someone's testicle by accident.
Oh, girl. That's bogus.
When I was working at the porn store, there's this guy. He was into cock and ball torture, CBT, and
Uh,
he he bought me these shoes that he wanted me to wear. So I'm like, all right, whatever.
yeah, like
So I
spikes on them.
no, they were just very chunky stilettos. Like they had a platform on
Steel
them, and
toe.
so he had me kick him in the balls a few times. Like he would go on his hands and knees, and he would kind of poke his nuts through his thighs, so everything's like poking at the back. And he would have me wind up and kick it like a football, like punt it. So I would do that a few times, and then he would sit there with his like he would sit there like on a bench with his balls out,
Oh
and
no.
he would have me put like just kind of start bouncing my foot with the shoe on his nuts. Like you would put your foot like on a balloon and start bouncing it.
Sure.
So that's what I was doing to his testicle. And then he pissed me off. He was starting to get mean. And he goes, I want you to get angry. I want you to step on it. I was like, yeah, you want me to crush your balls? And he's like, yeah, you fucking cunt. And I went, well, bam. And I came down, and it was like you felt this like pop squish, you know?
Squish.
No, there was a pop and then a squish. Like it was kind of
That's so bogus.
like think about when you're popping those like bubble wraps, it's like
Yeah.
pop squish. Well, it was one of those. And then his scrotum immediately started to get red and then purpley because there's blood, obviously. And
Not after kicking it a few times.
well, I kicked him, but I
Oh,
crushed it,
God.
and I left.
Uh.
I did what he wanted, and then I left. No harm, no foul. I didn't get hurt.
Here's my 4,000 doctor bill. Holy
Whatever.
shit. No, that's again, this the fetishes of what people like would the extremes of people would go through. Like even with the people that say eating people's shit, that's like you're on the fine line of death too. So even like the sexual gratification, you're just teeter-tottering with death too. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I mean, is it another element to like the danger?
No, I really think for some people that's part of it is the danger, and some people, if you're grossed out by it, like if like let's say I do something and you're like, ugh, sometimes that's part of the kink for the other person. Like,
Sure.
oh yeah,
Sure.
they think I'm nasty, and they love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to say though, I have seen some things,
Well, you
and
definitely have. Jesus.
that's not. I mean that's
That's
nothing.
nothing. No, that's
Like,
nothing. Holy
oh my
shit.
god, just there's been things. There's been
Yeah.
times. There's been just, I mean, a lot of just sexual deviancy.
Yeah. No,
It's great.
that's awesome. I'm glad that you have such a heavy appetite for sex. I mean, that's awesome. Especially when now we're getting older, obviously. But like, yeah, it just doesn't stop. And
No.
once you get older, you get a whole different fetish of guys who just love the older ladies.
Yeah, I had.
But yeah, I get you.
You're so funny. Like, I like older. How old do you like them?
Well, let's see. When I
Yeah, give me. We're gonna put out the feelers for you on this episode. So why don't
yeah.
you tell me what kind of women are you into?
Oh, I like all age women. basically. But I kind of steer towards the older because they're just more, they know what they're doing, and they're just easy to communicate with too.
You're
I think
eight.
this like, well, no, seriously, the younger kids, they just can't fucking communicate what the fuck they want and how they feel. And
Mhm.
it's just kind of shitty in the dating world right now. But yeah, yeah, I think the older women are just the way to go, just because I just usually have better conversations with them,
Well,
and they're
what's your
just more
age range?
experienced. Uh, I'd probably go 60, 65.
60, 65. Wow. All
Yeah,
right. So you
yeah,
like the gilfs?
the gilfs, I do.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
have you had the pleasure of knocking the cobwebs off of any 60-year-olds lately?
Well, when I was 25, I was with a 50-year-old. So
Ooh, scandalous. Tell me about Mrs.
25. Look,
Robinson.
Mrs. Robinson, I met her at work, and yeah, she was just a single mom, and obviously her kid wasn't living with her. But no, just found out that she smoked pot, and I was like, hey, we should smoke some bud together sometime. You're really cool. And she invited me to her house, and then just kind of that was that. I kind of obviously told her found her super attractive, and she thought the same thing, and everything got kind of closer and closer. And then we had a friends with benefits relationship for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I love those. Those are the best. So yeah, she just basically called me when she
Yeah.
wanted me to come over and have some fun. So yeah, it lasted for a little while, and then of course, just kind of you know,
Mhm.
girls come and go. I don't know, but yeah, I think that was the biggest gap I've had. Yeah, I don't know. How about you? What was your oldest or youngest?
Um, it was more of the older when I was younger. I was
Sure.
sure I would say six. Now I'm just going by the ones that were by choice. So when I was 16, he was my friend's boss. He was in his 40s and I was 16.
Oh,
I think he was like
that
46,
guy liked to live dangerously.
something like that. Well, I was the
Dateline.
I was the complete instigator. I so
Are
was.
you? Oh my god.
Well, no, I went to his work. He was the manager, and I
Okay.
went to his work. I pulled him into the bathroom and I shoved him up against the door and I went down on him. And I was 16.
Holy shit, girl. Your your sexual appetite was just
It
going
was.
gnarly.
Oh no, I was in absolute terror. I was in absolute terror. Like I'm so surprised I didn't get into more trouble than I did. Like we'd be at my parents' house and I had an older brother and like he would have friends over. We'd be sitting on the couch. Like I'm sitting next to my mother and there's a dude sitting on the other side of me, like my brother's friend. I would get a blanket and put it and I'd freaking give him a hand job like as we're watching TV in the living room. Like it was bad. I loved it. And then there's another guy, like dudes get so creepy with young girls.
Yeah,
Excuse
I'd
me.
say. Jesus. You could have thrown all these guys in prison.
No, I could have. I really
You
could
still
have.
can.
Eh, not
I
gonna
know.
because I
I know. I
wanted.
know. I know. I'm just
I
saying.
was not groomed. I wanted to do it. There was another guy that I liked a lot. I was 15. I was 15, liked him a lot. I would go and hang out at his work every day, like a little freaking Lolita. And I would like talk to his friends and stuff like that. And then once I got that opportunity, I took it. And like we would hook up every once in a while. And then like two of his friends, we would hook up too. Like we would go to the back of the tattoo shop and I'm like, fucking suck a dick. It was just that's just how it was.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
get
know.
a free tattoo today.
Oh, it wasn't even for that. This is before I even was getting tattooed. I was 15. Like I mean, I got my
Oh
first
man.
tattoo when I was 13, but I didn't get my like next like big tattoo until
Sure.
I was in my freaking 30s, late 30s.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You're a late bloomer when it comes to
Ah,
tattoos. Sort
well,
of. Of getting fully
finances.
tattooed. Oh yeah, sure.
Well, finances and my parents, I just but
So
whatever, everyone's
does your
dying.
parents know much of your career life or just
My mother didn't.
Okay.
But she's dead now, so it doesn't matter.
Sure.
My father knew a little bit or knows a little bit, but you don't remember anything anyway,
Sure.
so
Sure. Sure. Sure.
it's okay.
It's probably better that way.
My brother, when he found out I did porn, he didn't like that at all. But instead of telling
Sure.
me he didn't like it, he decided to tell everybody else that he didn't like it.
Sure.
She's such a whore. I don't approve. I don't care. So,
It's your life. Again,
and I'm still alive, and he's
exactly.
not.
Yeah. Again, this
So
is
there.
it's just weird that people just don't understand why people make certain choices. And
Yeah.
again, I just like again, I'm very non-judgmental. I just think it's more interesting in how this world works and the fact that you get the opportunity to have the life that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like, not too many people would love to have this. It's like sounds very extravagant, and this sounds just very no, it does. It just seems like you're just totally at play, and that's I can only imagine people who do live vicariously through. Is like, how does this work? How like what?
just be
How do these boobs grow so naturally? You know?
just be dumb and impulsive. That's pretty much what it
Well,
is. Dumb
again,
and
that's
impulsive.
why. No, I think I can relate to you in this level of like how I kind of created this other reality for myself outside of what I do, outside of this podcast, like because my podcast is this new reality that I kind of made around, you know, I made a name for myself basically.
Mm.
um, yeah, so I can see where just the real world that we work and then we come back to this world that I can be more fun and free and have a fan base and have all these interesting people on my podcast and just get to know their lives. And again, I just like how edgy and raunchy you are. So no, it gives us a bunch of a little spice to our podcast. So I can't thank you enough. It's so awesome. And
Oh
again,
no.
it's so cool. Again, it's to meet people who are just so into their life and yeah, so cool.
We'll have another couple questions for you. Well, how
Sure.
much? I mean, are we on a time constraint,
No,
or
we could talk for 3 or 4 hours if you like.
so you're gonna like cut half of this out, aren't you?
No,
About to say, I'm like, you better not, because
no.
I will come to Wisconsin. I will pelt you with cheese. I love cheese curds, by the way. The
You?
squeaky cheese. I love that.
Yes.
They're so
Oh, we're
good.
home with the cheese curds. Yes.
So good. All right.
Yes.
Are you cut or uncut?
I'm circumcised. Yeah.
Okay. And if you were to be a furry in a sexual situation, what furry would you be? What type of furry?
I'd probably be a red panda.
Really? That was very quick. Like you've been thinking about this, haven't you?
Wow. I love red pandas. But not trying to be a furry. No, 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 no.
Oh,
But no,
no, not
it's
at
it.
all.
But no, that's funny. Yeah, I'll probably be a red panda. I think it'd be pretty hot. What would you
Now, would
be?
you? Oh, maybe a husky.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
But you know
Especially if you
what?
like it doggy style.
Yeah, but I think I'd want to be a boy husky because I'd want like one of those like red dicks with a knot on it. You know what I
Red
mean?
Rocket.
Yeah. Just I don't know, have like a furry because you can buy those.
Can you really? I know that it's like a sex culture in the
Yeah.
furries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they like people who are into, but like some people who are into like bestiality and stuff and they don't want to actually do the illegal stuff. You can buy dildos that are shaped and look exactly like animal genitalia.
That's funny. I got a story for you now. Speaking of animals and crazy sex, there was a guy here in Wisconsin about 5, 7 years ago, maybe. He was caught red-handed fucking a dead deer on the side of the road.
A dead deer.
A dead deer. And yeah,
Mm.
apparently he got caught a year before that harassing a horse.
Oh
so
my.
so yeah, Wisconsin's got their crazy fucks too. And no, we have I have some we have two places here in Madison, or that used to be here. Well, one is still here. This place called Bennett's. It's this guy has a special license where he plays hardcore porno in the morning while you're eating breakfast. It's like smutting and eggs. He wears like a dick hat, and sometimes he gets porn stars to come over there and promote their movies and stuff, and actually do like dildo shows and like
That is
double-sided dildos
hilarious.
while people are eating breakfast. Right? And
That's
just eating
fucking great.
pancakes and seeing like, yeah, I thought this would be your spot for sure. So if you're coming to Madison, we're going to Bennett's.
Oh my God, that is so hilarious. And the
Yes.
fact that they don't have something like that in Florida blows my
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, that's
That is
kind of
there's a package store that uh well it's a bar, but they also have a package store and they serve breakfast. Like they open at like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. And the only
mm,
reason I know this is because I used to be the office manager at my father's electrical company.
okay.
Yeah. I did so many bad because I was alone in the office most of the time by myself. Oh, my boyfriend would come over during his lunch and we would fuck all over that office. Like I banged on my dad's desk because my dad was my boss. I banged on his desk. I banged in the kitchen. I banged. It was great. Anyway,
Jesus,
so
these lucky guys.
so so after I finish the story, I'll tell you about another situation. I'm getting there.
Okay.
Sorry, I get ahead of myself. I don't well I
You're
don't
so
get to really
anxious.
I don't get to really like talk to anyone during the day.
Oh,
You know,
really?
well
Oh,
because
we could chit chat all the time if you want.
I deal with you know a 71-year-old toddler, so
Mm,
I can't talk.
sure.
Anywho, okay. So he would send me over to the package store early in the morning after I dispatch everyone to their jobs, and he would call it a mercy run, which meant get a handle of vodka and a bottle of Sprite and a bag of ice for the office.
Okay.
Because office supplies. You
Yeah.
need a gallon of vodka. Everybody does. So but we would end up going there and just go for breakfast, and I'd still see some of my friends that I knew that we'd party on the weekends, but they'd still be awake, all coked out of their mind, having drinks. So I would come in all dressed in my suit, and then we'd just get hammered. Like I barely did any work when I worked there. It was like mostly we were just drunk all the time. So it was kind of fun. But getting to have people come over. There's this one dude. His thing is he loved to be humiliated. Loved to be humiliated. Just that was his thing. He would drive by the office and he's like, I want you to come outside, make fun of me, and take all the money out of my wallet. I'm like, all right. I didn't care. I would tell him, like, can you please just go away? Stop. I don't want to do this. Like, I feel bad for you, you know?
Yeah.
He would come by wearing nothing but women's underwear, like satin women's panties. And then he'd go, like honk the horn. I'd go outside. He'd be sitting there in the car. I would look my head in the car. I would point and laugh and say, give me your wallet. And I'd take out his wallet and throw it at him and then go back inside. That happened a couple times. And then he wanted to be dressed as a maid and clean my office.
Okay.
And
A
when I
French
wasn't,
maid?
Mhm, yeah.
Okay.
And when I wasn't using him, he wanted to be put into the closet, like with the vacuum and stuff. And
Really?
then, yep. And during my lunch break, he wanted to lay under my desk and have me put my bare feet on him.
Oh. So you just want to be
And
like furniture and like objects.
yeah, and he wanted to clean my office for me and fetch me whatever. If I wanted a cup of tea, go fetch it. And if someone would come into the office, they would be like, "What the fuck is going on?" And, like
You could definitely be a female pimp if you wanted to. My God. You seem like the roll with an iron fist. You're just like, yeah.
no, this was all no, that was his suggestion. That's what he
Well, I
wanted
know,
to
just
do.
the fact that people are just throwing themselves as like human slaves for you. That's pretty
And
nice.
he gave me $300 to do it.
That's awesome.
I was like, okay,
That's a deal.
whatever.
Get your office cleaned and just get paid.
Well, and I got a good foot massage too. I never ask for these people to do this.
I know.
It just
Do you think it's like a weird phenomenon that's like a magnet that comes
oh
like all these people you just happen to walk and all these they didn't need to know who you were online it just happened to come from the street and oh, there you go.
No, I put out
Okay.
sexual behavior. You know,
Oh,
I kind of, well, I mean, I think so. I put it out online. I put it out the way I
sure,
dress,
sure,
the
sure,
way I act. You know,
sure, sure.
I'm very flirtatious. I don't know. I'm an asshole. I just,
Well, I'm glad that we could flirt back and forth. That's
uh,
what I was hoping for. My God. There we go. That's awesome. No, I was gonna say, there's another place that got closed down here, and this was about like 5 years ago. It's called the Snuggle House. You heard of this? It's like a whole. This guy had like different snuggle houses in different states.
oh,
We had one here in Madison, and it turned into like a little secret brothel, and it was like it's very weird. I mean, the guy was kind of weird himself, but again, it was meant to be for lonely people who just need to hold somebody, and it just pay for people who just lay down on couches or sit on couches, just holding each other
just cuddle.
and just cuddle. And then I think some of that was just legit, and then I think there's extra pay for extra, service thing
Mm-hmm.
happening. So I think that was shut down 2 months after it opened because it was deemed a brothel, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, there's a couple by where I used to live in Newport Richie. They had we lived right by a rub and tug. You know those massage parlors that give the
oh
happy
yeah,
endings.
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I mean, there was a couple of them, and you knew it's like, oh, envy massage. It's like, right, everything's all blacked out. You know, they're only open at night, or like late afternoon. It's like, okay,
I was gonna also say, are you into girls too? Do you?
mhm,
Okay, okay. We,
sure.
we touched much on
I know my way around a box.
that. Awesome.
I love boobs. I love boobs. I have such a
Let's say
thing.
you probably suck on your own.
Yeah, I don't get anything from my own. Well, yeah, I know. I play with mine all the time, like slap
Yeah,
them around, and you know. But
yeah,
I love to play with nipples. I love to slap like big tits. I
yeah,
love to just slap them. I mean, I'm
yeah.
really. I swear I was born in a girl's body. Like I mean, I like being a girl. I'm not saying that I want to be a dude, but I'm saying like my whole attitude and my mannerism is very dude like.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
well, but like scummy, creepy dude like. I said, no, I'm dead serious. If people were this sensitive back 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, oh my God, I would be in so much trouble. Because
Yeah.
we would play a game when we would go out to the bars. We would play a game like whose tits can I see? So we would start off, we'd start off where I would pick someone, be like, her. And then he would go up to try to, you know, we would work on who could see if we could get her to show us her tits. And then once she did, it would escalate. We're like, okay, game on. So then it was who could one up each other. How far
Ah,
could you get? Oh God, I was such a predator. It was so bad. But there was this girl, showed her tits. So of course he got her showed. So I went in for the grab. Didn't say a word, just went in right for the honk. I'm like, your tits are great. And went in, grabbed, felt her up. And then he went and felt her. I was like, okay. And then I started feeling her boobs and then started kissing her. And so we were making out. It's like I had her tits out.
wow.
This happened all the time. We did
That
this
is
a lot.
awesome.
We would do this a
Well, you
lot.
should hang out sometime. Jesus Christ. I'll show you around Madison. We go to Bennett. We go to Bennett's in the morning. Oh God. That is super dope.
Yeah, we used to have some fun. Like it was oh God. And then there was this we were at the bar. There was these two women and this one like this little like freaking white gangster kid who had like a fresh teardrop tattoo, but he was one of those like Malibu's most wanted kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I'm hard. Like, shut up, Trevor. Like, you know, like one of those things.
Shut up, Trevor.
Like, well, we were getting along with his aunt, who happened to be named Jenny, which the only
Okay.
reason I remember that is because he kept going, Jenny, Aunt Jenny, I want to go home. We had her bent over the bar. We were slapping her ass. She had her boobs out. We were having a grand old time. He's like, oh, I want to go home. We gave him like $20 and like, go wait outside.
Damn.
Oh, it was so great. It was so great.
That is great. Damn. You're just on full blast party mode. That's again, that's how you I
I
view
used to
you.
be. I
It used
used
to
to
be.
be. I'm no fun
Wow.
anymore. I'm no
Yeah,
fun
fun no
anymore.
more. I beg the diff.
I
You're
don't
just getting
drink
older.
anymore. I don't go anywhere anymore. I mean,
Wow. Yeah. Get your face out of here. Holy Christ. Well, you gotta let me know when you're in Madison.
yeah. Next
Please
time
do.
I'm up in Wisconsin, which is, but I actually, my mom's best friend lives in Wisconsin.
She
So
does.
she does. My mother's from Michigan and she
Oh,
was from Wisconsin, but she still lives in Wisconsin. She's got like a summer home down in Florida, but her main um, living situation is in Wisconsin. Hey, I mean, her husband has heart problems, so he might be out soon. So you might be in if you want.
well, we're definitely keeping in contact. No, that's super dope. Um, man, so you have any big plans for the fall here? Because I know Halloween is coming up. Do you like? Are you a big Halloween girl?
I am. I'm a big Halloween girl. I have two racks of clothes and costumes that I've never worn
Oh,
that
cool.
that I want to, but since I
Sure.
don't go anywhere anymore, I'm trying to go to. I want to go to Spooky Empire this year. I already went this year, but I didn't know that they were having it twice. And if I knew that, I would have gone to the October one instead of the one a couple months ago. So I may go to this one again, just
Okay.
because I could dress up and run amok
That is so
and
cool. So
have
how
fun.
so at these things, how many times do you dress up? Do you like to do it like get as many costumes as you can get going?
I,
Like you rock one for 2 hours and get up on another one and rock the other one for 2 hours? Or you stick to
well,
one for one day?
I used to do one each day,
Okay.
um, but now that I can't go both days or stay overnight. It's just one outfit one
Sure,
day.
sure, sure,
So,
sure.
but that's okay though because the last
Yeah.
one that I wore
Well, how do you
was
get to pick? How do you pick those all those
it's
costumes?
stressful. It's
I
very
bet it
stressful.
is.
Sometimes I'll do a poll online and say, hey, which one out of these would you pick? Like I'll give like three
Oh,
options
cool.
or
Sure,
something,
sure.
just if I can't. But the last time though, I didn't give anybody options. I went as the Baroness from GI Joe.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, nope, fucking love it. I'm wearing it. Like it was, I was very
Ah,
proud of that one. It looks
super
very good. I
cool.
was very happy.
That is
Um,
awesome.
had the black hair, the glasses, red lips, bodysuit with the Cobra logo, and it's
Yeah,
fun.
the cover logo. I think I've seen
Like yeah,
pictures of that. That is
yeah,
sick.
it was
Yeah.
fun. It was very fun. But yeah, Halloween. We're not like. I mean, I've got two movies coming up.
Oh,
I
tell me.
think they're either going to be out by the end of this year or they're definitely by early of next year. There's HoboCop.
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 That is awesome.
It stars Bob Glazer as he's a HoboCop. He's a cop and he's homeless.
Okay.
So I get to rob a bank and I get to shoot people and it's
Oh,
fun.
cool.
I'm a hooker. I don't know. I get typecast a lot. I've played a hooker or a prostitute quite a few times. There was once I was an alien hooker, an alien cannibal hooker.
Damn. That is
So
hot.
that was Descort Service 3 Taste Me.
Oh
So that
shit.
was that one. So Hobocop's coming out, and then also American Holocaust Part 2.
Whoa.
I get to play a prison warden in that one. And
Cool.
I get to kill and I get to be killed.
Yeah.
I like getting bloody. I like getting murdered. It's fun.
That is awesome. Yeah, I love to get into movies myself. I was actually thinking about getting into acting because I before I started doing the podcast, I was in a band called Bird's Eye, and it was like a funk indie hip hop band. I was the lead MC, and yeah, I love doing it. I love the stage. I love the spotlight. Um, and yeah, after the band kind of fell apart, something was missing. So again, when I um got into podcasting, I was like, it filled that hole in my heart where
Mhm.
like the love and the drive of doing this. And again, I was super excited to do today's podcast with you. Again, I'm meeting people like you. I never thought I'd ever get to talk to you. It's just kind of like definitely it's really sweet. And I can't thank you enough. But
Well, I appreciate it. I have fun.
yeah, yeah,
I'm usually pretty easy to talk to unless I'm having a
you
bad
were
day, and then I turn to like super kind, and then it's like fuck off. But no, no. Normally I'm in a good mood, especially if I'm a little toasted, and
yeah,
I try to be nice unless I'm not nice. So
yeah, yeah. For all of our listeners, where can my fans and other people find you? Or
you can get me on Twitter and Instagram at Kinky Katie Radio, all one word. And also and Twitter is there's a lot of nudity. It's pretty much all I post. Just so tits. If you want
sure,
tits, there you go. They're giant gauged natural nipples. So have at
awesome. Have
them.
at 'em.
Every once in a while, I'll post a clip from one of my porns if I find it. So
Oh,
whatever.
dope.
Instagram,
Cool.
of course, is quiet. I did have. I mean, you could Google Kinky Katie Radio, and it should bring up all my shit. Facebook, I don't use that page anymore, but Katie McKinley, I do use on Facebook, and also Katie McKinley on IMDb. Not all of
Awesome.
them are listed. There's like 4 that are missing, but most of
Sure.
my well, not the adult ones. The adult ones are not on there either. So
Okay. Well,
the horror
cool.
movies are on there.
Yeah, yeah. No, people are always interested to find these films, and especially all the stories you just told. I'm pretty sure people are like, "Oh, why don't I just gander through this now?"
What is she doing?
Yeah, no, it's really dope. That's super cool. No, I can't thank you enough for coming on tonight, or today, I should say. It's not night yet. But no, seriously, that was super awesome. But yeah,
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. It's fun to talk to you.
yeah. Well, hey, can you stick with me for 2 more minutes?
Sure. Absolutely.